somebody in that cabinet meeting decided to report to Politico that Elon Musk would be departing soon. And Donald Trump had conveyed this information, don't forget, right? Conveyed this information, then all of a sudden, within minutes, it somehow winds up all over social media, all over the media in general. I want to show you here what Donald Trump just said last night about this, where he effectively, confirmed that he doesn't want to lose Elon, but that this is probably what's going down, and that, unfortunately, he can't stay there forever.
And into the United States.
Sir, do you have a sense of how long Elon Musk's mission will last and when he will depart?
Well, Elon is fantastic. And I think it's, he's a patriot, and I think it's a shame what they're doing with his car company. And a great car. It's a great car, great product. And it tells you what a patriot he is. He's amazing. No, I mean, as long as he'd like, I like smart people, and he's a smart person. I also like him personally. When he endorsed me, that's when I really got to know him. I knew him a little bit before that, but not much. And then he endorsed me. And it was a very strong, embracing endorsement, as we all know. And I would say Elon will stay for a certain period of time, and then he's going to want to get back to his businesses full time. But he's done a fantastic job. We found hundreds of, think of it, just hundreds of, we found millions of dollars of fraud and abuse and waste. And they're still going, they're going strong. They found something today that's horrible. It's horrible. So what they found, well, you'll find out very soon. What they found is incredible. And I give him a lot of credit. He's got some very smart people with him.
Do you think he can finish?
And they're working very closely with our secretaries and the people that are the heads of.
Do you think you would appoint him to another position once his 130
days? Well, I would.
days?
I think Elon's great, but he also has a company to run, or a number of companies to run. That he can do this, that he can find the time. He loves the country. That's why he does it. But we're in no rush. But there'll be a point at which time Elon's going to have to leave.
So he has an auto company, a specific date.
I would think a few months.
Even when Elon leaves and goes back to being CEO, will DOGE stick around in some kind of capacity?
Yeah, it'll still DOGE itself. Yeah. At some point, just so you understand, I don't want to get it wrong. I want Elon to stay as long as possible. Number one, I like him. Number two, he's doing a great job. Number three, he is a patriot. That's why he's doing this. And he's, it's very costly for him. But, so I want him to stay as long as possible. But there'll be a point where he's going to have to leave. And when he does, the secretaries will take totally over. And DOGE will stay active. We have a lot of smart people. A lot of those people, I believe, are going to go into the agencies. And they'll work on it from the inside.
You mentioned auto companies that you've been speaking with. Have you spoken to
Because they're loyalists. All right? You get that? Like, he saw Elon as somebody who is a loyalist, and Elon's team as being loyal to him. And so when he says they're going to go into the agencies, they will. And it will be a shame, of course, to lose Elon. I can't stress enough how vital and important he has been to this entire movement. It's just bizarre to me. And I say this again as a journalist because somebody had somebody on speed dial, and either somebody in the cabinet meeting decided, okay, I'm going to take this to a friend of mine, and they did something with it, or they actually took it direct to a reporter, because within sort of minutes of that information being out there, we are hearing, of course, that Elon was gone. And I think, again, he's got to batten down the hatches, and he's got to stop the rumor mills, and he's got to, for the sake of himself, for the sake of his administration, he's got to ensure that, everybody's on the same page. And look, the reality is not everybody is on the same page. I mean, my dear friend Steve Bannon, who I have tremendous, tremendous respect for, I kid you not, I think he's brilliant, and I think he's helped spearhead this entire movement and the importance that he stressed of American manufacturing. especially when it comes to high-tech things. He has not exactly been what you call an Elon fan. Here he is on his show, right around the New Year.
If you can work out the mathematical formulas and the engineering complexity of sending a colony of human beings to Mars and keep them alive, you can work through the math on this, and you know it's a bald-faced lie. And here's how I know you know it's a bald-faced lie, because you cratered as soon as we got up in your grill. Oh, okay, fine. Well, I won't fight to the death. I'm not going to fight to the death and show all kind of new types of warfare. Why don't we reform? We need reform. And you're going to some BS answer, and you think we're going to buy that? Where did you come from, dude? Here's what you need to do. You need to study modern political history of the fights we've been through for 12 or 14 years to get to this spot. You think this is just because people are just wandering around? People have worked for over a decade pounding this. And that's how relentless the established order is. Because Baccia told you, They're making a lot of money and they have control, and this is about money and power. It's not about race. It's not about gender. It's not about ethnicity. It's not about religion. That's what they want you to believe it is. So you're like a bucket of crabs at each other's throat. It's not about that. It's about money and power. And Karl Rove's going to get his 54 big donors down there. They're going to figure out how to stop Trump or how to compromise it. And they'll use Ted Cruz, or they'll use Little Marco, or they'll use Jeb Bush, or they don't care who they use. They'll throw up some chop block. They'll misdirect you. Oh, look at this. In that, there's some racism over there. You white folks, go look at that. That's a Fox specialty. We don't fall for that. So don't think you're going to come back and, oh, you know what? Well, what we need to do is increase it here and cut that cost there. Screw you, you clown. And then you got to suppress us. Oh, they're, I don't know, blacklisting you, whatever they do. I don't care what they do on Twitter. I could care less. We're banned on every platform in the world, and this show is one of the most powerful in the world. Why is that? Because the content of the show resonates with the most powerful audience in the world, working men and women that happen to be citizens of this great republic. This is a defining moment. Some of the people say, oh, Steve, we gotta have a group hug. You can't do this and let the Democrats. No. We're not having group hugs. We're not having pats on the head. You got to get this straight. First off, you got to get, hey, I've said many times that Elon came and Elon's money helped organize the grassroots effort. In his engineering mind, he saw what the problem was as we saw it, and he supported it. And for that, he gets a place at the table. There's no doubt. You should. It's $250 million in June, not an entire cycle, in 5 months. But that dinner with Sachs and that check from Elon came at Biden's, when Biden, in the debate or right before the debate, and Biden, they kind of saw the numbers of where this thing was heading. They're recent converts, and we love converts. Hell, I'm a Catholic. We used to be in the convert business. Not so much anymore. We can't keep what we got. But in the old days, half the saints are missionaries. We love in converts. But the converts sit in the back and study for years and years and years to make sure you understand the faith and you understand the nuances of the faith and understand how you can internalize the faith. Don't come up and go to the pulpit in your first week here and start lecturing people about the way things are going to be. If you're going to do that, we're going to rip your face off.
Ooh.
Because you can't beat us. We're not beatable. This army of the awakened is not beatable because we're relentless, and we will never surrender, and we will never slow down. And yes, if you go low, we'll go to the center of the earth. Because we're fighting for something that means something. Yeah. We have meaning in this. This is why people watch this show. This is why people come to this show and all this great content people provide us. And Ben Bergquam's down now, putting his life in danger again. Why do people do this? Why have they done this for years? Why did they do it for years at Breitbart? When Trump?
So, it's basically going on about how Elon is sort of Johnny-come-lately to the movement. And I think there's a certain kind of resentment there. I bring that up. Listen, Steve's great. And what he's been able to build, much like, what we've been able to build here, I think is just based on authenticity, on truth and conviction, right? That we share mutually. And so I don't doubt any of that on his part for 2 seconds. But I think that there's some tension there in terms of what Elon was trying to do, and perhaps even the proximity and the closeness and the influence he might have had on Donald Trump. And so I bring it up just to say that it's not just, say, never Trumpers that you might have wandering the hallways at the White House, but you have people that actually really do believe in this movement that may not have been too thrilled about Elon being there, even for all the success and the wins that he's been able to have. And so when that news got leaked out, it may have been leaked out with people who actually do have good intentions for the president. I still get back to square one, however, which is that you've got to batten down the hatches and you've got to communicate to your team, you know what, this is not acceptable. And we're going to make sure that it's not acceptable because we're going to purge ourselves of anybody who's not loyal and who doesn't actually stick with the program, which means if your boss tells you something confidentially, guess what? That is confidential information, not to be shared with anyone, not to be shared with other reporters or podcasters or even people in the movement. At that point, you really need to respect the office. And so that's where we are right now. And I think Donald Trump is now saying, okay, I need to shore this all up. This means I need a new head of my NSA. I need new people on the NSC staff. And I think you're going to see more and more and more. I'm curious to see what it is that Elon Musk has discovered, you guys. Any idea? Anybody want to hypothesize about that? Make sure you subscribe. Listen, we're here. This show is growing. It's amazing to me. Just amazing. If anybody had said, Trish, if you just start doing a show every day, people will come and they will listen and they will watch and they will be part of this tremendous community. I didn't really understand it, right? Because I came from the television world and all I knew was I needed to be on a better number on the dial because people would say to me, Fox Business, where do I find that? Well, that doesn't even matter these days because all you do is type in where you want to go, much like here. And so you want to see Trish, you type in the Trish Regan channel and we got content coming out all day long and coming for you all weekend long. And I do this show live every day, no matter where I am in the world, because I care. I care about you. I care about our country. I care about our children and their future.